Hi, I'm Art Caplan. I'm at the Division of Medical Ethics at the NYU Grossman School of Medicine. Recently, I got a call from a psychiatrist friend of mine, and he was grappling with a very difficult case. Not common, but it's come up around North America now a number of times, perhaps elsewhere as well, I'm not sure. And the case is what to do with young women who just seem to not respond to efforts to treat their anorexia. Anorexia is that disease often associated with bulimia where people stop eating, or if they do eat, they regurgitate and wind up starving. And so you can have tremendous weight loss. The death rate in anorexic patients is probably 5 times what it would be in their normal age bracket. A lot of these uh, people who are afflicted with the condition are under 18. 4% of females in the US are believed to have suffered from anorexia at one point or another in their lives. And even males can get it, although the percentage rate there is under a half of 1%. So it's more a disease that we see in women than we do in men. The incidence has been going up a little bit, so it's a serious problem and one that doctors have a severe challenge in treating. So I'm not sure anybody really knows what the response rate is, successful response rate for anorexia, but it can be a tough course to follow. You wind up getting into eating disorder clinics where, oddly enough, some of the most difficult cases are brought and the women stay there. And in fact, if you wind up in these eating disorder clinics, the psychiatrist told me, newer patients learn from the older ones how to dissemble, how to lie, how to get by with their anorexia and bulimia from the old veterans who are often present for third, fourth, or fifth visits in these eating disorder clinics, settings, or specialty facilities. So it's a tough condition. It's a very serious mental health problem. Psychiatrists had a very simple question. We treat somebody 6, 7, 8 times, and they are just not responding, and they're down to life-threatening weights. Is it ever ethical to let them die? To let them say, you don't want to eat, you're refusing to eat, we're not going to force feed you. We're not going to try and give you either nutrition through tubes or any kind of IVs. We're going to accept the fact that you are a futile case. Now, as we all know, there are situations with the terminally ill where policies have been put in place to say it's futile to try and care for this person. We're not going to do anything more. We're going to shift to palliative care. We're going to shift to supportive emotional care, but we're going to let them die. That happens even sometimes with children who aren't competent to make that decision. Nonetheless, we do see situations in which their suffering and pain is so bad and there seems nothing more that can be tried or be done to let them go. Is this condition similar in that while it's a mental health issue, it still can be terminally ill? Is it similar in that for some patients, they just don't respond to care? My thinking was if we've tried 8, 9, or 10 times, if there are no other alternatives out there beyond what we continue to try again and again, and if the experts say it's really futile care, and if we are prolonging suffering in the person with anorexia in terms of starvation, frailty, and weakness, then yes, this could be a situation in which life-preserving care could be withdrawn and requests not to eat could be honored and no effort made to force feed a patient who's in this situation. Now, I would insist that there be an ethics committee review. I would insist there be an outside consult. Obviously, discussions have to take place with family about what's going on and why. No doubt there has to be a strong effort to try and explain to the individual patient what's going on, what's going to happen, what their fate will be if we get into this kind of a situation. But I think we can say that anorexia is as serious for some as cancer. And if we open the door to the idea that patients have the right to say no, and they don't want any more medical treatment, and even though we admit that anorexia can be distorting of one's competency and abilities, I don't think it's so distorting that we can't honor a request from someone who knows what the treatment is, who knows what their fate is, who may even have the consent of family members in the ethics committee to say, we just can't treat them anymore, and to allow them to die. It's a difficult call. I don't think it's going to happen very often, but I think the possibility is there of admitting that sometimes, even in the mental health arena, there's nothing more that we can do for some patients. I'm Art Caplan at the Division of Medical Ethics at the NYU Grossman School of Medicine. Thanks for watching.